here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall two steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven, how do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. We have yet another fantastic show lined up for you tonight, and that is because we have none other than Suzanne Taylor King on with us tonight. This is going to be an amazing show. I cannot wait for you to meet this young lady. She is so accomplished, so successful, so intelligent, and understands how to navigate the waters of entrepreneurship and business. And I cannot wait to share her with you, because that is exactly what this show is all about. The Mind, Body, Business Show is a show that we had put together with you in mind. And that, who are you? You are the small business person, the large business person, the entrepreneur. No matter where you are in your current walk, in your journey with your entrepreneurship and business, there is always something that everyone can take away from this, golden nuggets that can really catapult you to that next step that you're looking for and that you deserve in your business. Because let's face it, we're all working very hard to get where we are. And what better way to get a little bit of an advantage to get to that next level than to have people like Suzanne Taylor King on the show that we can talk to, ask her questions, and elicit the strategies that she has implemented to bring herself to the level of success she is at, so that we can maybe say, hey, I want to do that too. Can you show me? And that's why we are here. It is about what I call the 3 pillars of success. And that is the very namesake of this show. It is mind. Mind stands for mindset. And to a person, individuals that I had studied for about a 10-year period, very successful people only that I focused on, they, to a person, had a very positive, very powerful, we've all heard of those. And thirdly, and most importantly, a very flexible mindset. And then body is about literally taking care of oneself, both nutritionally by what we put into our bodies and through exercise. I know that long 4-letter word to many of us. And business is multifaceted. What these incredibly successful individuals had done, they had mastered the skill sets that are necessary to basically create a very vibrant and successful business, and then to continue and scale them and build them and grow them. And these are skill sets like marketing, sales, team building, systematizing, leadership. I mean, there are many. And being an astute person as you are watching right now or listening, and that is, to master any one thing can take a very long time. The good news is you yourself personally really do not need to master all of them by yourself. In fact, you could leverage one of them. And I mentioned it just a moment ago, to where you would literally, if you could just master one skill set, you could probably get by on just that one, because you could leverage that to bring in others who are already either in the process of mastery or have reached the mastery of these skill sets. And that one skill set, anybody curious? I just want to know. You want to know what it is? That you don't have to master all of them, just one? Nobody? I'm just kidding. I'll tell you. It is the skill set of leadership. Yes. Once you have mastered that skill set, you can then use that to bring in and nurture and orchestrate other individuals who have mastered those various skill sets into your team, maybe joint venture with them, form strategic alliances, and so on. So that is good news for you. More good news is one of the other incredibly common attributes of the most successful people that I had personally studied is that, to a person, they're also very avid readers of books. And with that, I want to segue really quickly into a little segment I affectionately call bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
There you see it, reachyourpeaklibrary.com. Now, a real quick word of advice, if I may, and that is, as you're watching this show, and hopefully you're watching I hope you're watching live because we will be giving away a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort, compliments of Reach Your Peak, to any and all who enter. I shouldn't say to any and all, to one winner from the entries of anyone who is watching us live. You must be watching live to enter. So be sure to watch us live next time. We'll tell you how to do that in a moment. And one of the greatest things about this is that you are going to be wanting to pay attention and keep your focus on Suzanne Taylor King when she comes on. Why do I say that? Because we are going to be sharing with you, mostly Suzanne will be sharing with you many resources as we go through this show. It happens every time, books, websites, you name it. And when you hear these resources, the inkling is going to be to go off and start researching those while you're listening or watching to the show, listening to or watching the show. Grammar. Yes. And what I would just not like to happen for you is that you take your focus away and you're researching, and then Suzanne drops that one golden nugget that could literally propel you and your business to the next level. I've seen this happen from working, speaking from stage years ago especially when I was first starting out. I would be getting to that, what I call juicy part. I'm the presenter. I know what the big meaty part is, and I'm getting there, and I'll see somebody get up and leave the room. You know, that all important text message that came through, or they just had to use the restroom. And I learned to then pre-frame the room and say, look, if you really need to go to the bathroom next break, make sure you don't drink a lot of water when you come in, that kind of thing. And then silence your phones, pay attention, because I would hate for you to leave the room and miss that one golden nugget. That was where this came from. So that is my soapbox moment. I would say, rather than go and check these places out while we're going through the show, is just write them down. I'm going to be taking notes myself, and I'm running this entire thing. I'm producer, director. I won't say star. That's Suzanne. I'm the understudy and actor, I guess, but all forms of it. So go ahead, take notes, and then visit those resources after the show's over, and then you'll be able to really concentrate and focus on what Suzanne is saying now, and then the resources afterward. Cool. All right. Reach Your Peak Library. Real quick. It is a resource I had compiled literally with you in mind, because I myself was not a prolific reader until about the age of 47. We're going back about 12 years ago. Yes, a little pause for you all to do the math. I get it. You want to know. And so this list of books is literally books I have personally read and vetted. So every book on here is something I've read, and not every book I've ever read is in here, if that makes sense. These are the ones that had profound impact on me, either personally, professionally, or both. And I've always focused on business and growth and professionalism. But as you will learn as you go through your walk with business, you'll understand and realize that they are very two similar animals, and that they are both all about personal connections. It's amazing thing you learn as you go through this journey. And another amazing thing you're going to learn really quick is a lot, because guess what? I'm bringing on our guest expert. It's time for Suzanne Taylor King. Let's bring her on right now.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is the one, the only Suzanne Taylor King.
Hello.
How are you doing, Suzanne?
I'm awesome. And you were introducing the show, and I was like, this is like right up my alley and so in line. Everything you talked about. I love it.
Yeah, and we just had a brief moment to get to know each other before the show, and I felt the same exact way. I thought, this is going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I am so jacked up. I'm like slipping over my tongue, stammering over it, tripping over it. It's like I am so like pumped and ready. I'm excited, and it's because of you. I didn't know until.
And you called me a young lady, which you had me at hello, and then you called me a young lady. That's it. We're done.
You look young to me, I'll tell you that. And I'm not going to do that ill-fated thing and ask you that stupid question either. So that I say a stupid question that men would ask, right? You know what I'm talking about. So as I pull myself out of that hole that I'm about to dig, would you be okay if I gave folks a great formal introduction of you, your background, so they can get an idea of who they're going to be listening to here tonight on this fantastic show?
I would be honored.
And it's only fantastic because of you. That is why it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. Suzanne, she She has over 35 years of No way. You're not
Yeah,
old enough to have that many. Give me
yeah,
a you
I am.
started when you were 2 then. Okay, she
Nope.
has over 35 years of entrepreneurial experience and multiple successful exits. Ooh, I like this already. Her journey has been one of continual learning and evolution. As I read this, I'm going to take a quick pause here. Please, everyone, take notes. I'm already giving you success tips, and they're not mine. Suzanne's giving them to you. This is her bio. Two sentences and already chock full of tips for your success. Take notes and listen to every word, especially when she starts talking, which will be soon, I promise. She brings this wealth of experience to her coaching, offering a unique blend of insights that combine practical business strategies with profound personal development. Notice how all these start to intertwine as we go through this. As a certified life, health, and executive coach, her approach is rooted in positive psychology and a growth mindset. She specializes in working with high-performing individuals, particularly seasoned entrepreneurs and leaders over 40, helping them navigate the complexities of the business world with authenticity and confidence. A whole lesson right there. And what is her avatar? I know it. I just read it. It's right there. I know exactly who her ideal target market is. This is fantastic. She offers customized coaching and consulting programs tailored to the specific needs and goals of her clients. So whether you're an overwhelmed CEO seeking work-life balance, a plateaued entrepreneur looking to scale, or a visionary leader striving for effective execution, her coaching provides actionable steps and resources for motivation and momentum. And one little extra tidbit, I have to add this to it. Her coaching philosophy revolves around something it's a principle called eudaimonia, the Greek concept of a truly fulfilling life. It's not just about what her clients do, but who they are. She believes in harnessing the unique genius and talents of each individual, which you all have, integrating these elements to foster holistic success. This is a journey of transformation, not just in business, but in life. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the one, the only Suzanne Taylor King. Welcome, formally
Wow.
and officially, to the Mind Body
Wow.
Business.
I can't wait to meet her. She sounds awesome.
I know. And I heard through the grapevine, she's like this young lady, too. It's like
Oh,
freaking awesome.
wow.
Yeah, and so listen, everyone watch. Look at her. Look at Suzanne, and you could tell she's a woman who enjoys having fun, making some light of certain situations, which
Yes,
I personally
yes,
feel is very important. I think
yes.
it's important that we don't take life so daggone seriously. We're here to enjoy
Mhm.
our lives, not just go through the grind. And
That's super.
it's one of the things that really stands out about you, Suzanne, to me, one of many, and one of the many good things. And I appreciate you for that. So I want to dive in and get busy with you and start extracting those wonderful strategies that you are using every single day in
Yeah.
your life. And it starts with mindset. So,
Mhm.
being an entrepreneur, that every day is just an absolute walk in the park. Super simple. Everything goes right, and you never have a challenge to worry about. And yes, I'm being very sarcastic because everything is just the opposite.
Yeah.
Knowing what you have to wake up to every morning, what is coming in front of you, that the arduous tasks, the menial tasks, the stuff that you may not want to deal with, that person, that one or two people, client maybe, knowing all that. And when you wake up, what is going on in your beautiful brain that is keeping you driven, keeping you motivated, keeping you excited about taking on yet another day and doing it all again?
For me, it was a journey of learning myself and my unique talents, and that pivot point when I finally understood why certain things were hard, no matter what business I've owned, and why certain things were really easy for me. It was really key in exploring that, and that looked like a combination of coaching, some assessments, some therapy, and really discovering that my brain worked in this innovative, on the spot, in the moment type of wisdom based on experience and knowledge and reading and learning and trusting my gut, but also knowing what I'm not good at. And
Ooh,
so many times entrepreneurs are struggling. They keep hitting this certain wall, whether it's leadership or delegation or minutia. I get minutia. I am not an implementer. So when I owned a marketing agency, I had to make sure I had people to implement things because I could tell somebody they needed X, Y, and Z, but don't ask me to do it for you. Oh no, no, not a skill of mine. And I had to realize that was happening in my own business. And as soon as that really clicked on a cellular level, okay, don't beat yourself up because you didn't write 3 emails today. You're not good at that. Focus on what you are good at and delegate the rest. And that was really just the moment that so much more abundance came for me because I could stay in that zone of genius.
Oh, I can so relate to this so well. I love all this. And yeah, it's important to know what you're good at. It's equally as important to know what your limitations are.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you may actually be good at certain things that you just flat out cannot stand doing. And
Mhm.
things that you don't like doing, I mean, would you tend to do a better job at it or a worse job at it if you didn't like it? I mean, I think we would all
Oh,
not do the
I don't
greatest
I don't like to clean.
job. Yeah.
Do I force myself to do it? Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, so it's a great lesson, and you said the magic word, which was delegate. And
Mhm.
this is where I see so many people struggling. I was there too, you know, when I was a solopreneur and doing everything myself, it was such a grind. It was, you know, you get to a point, you get a few clients, and now you're just burdened by everything now that you're doing all of it, the
Mhm.
marketing, the sales, the leadership of them, you know, the support, all of the departments, every hat
Oh,
spinning
yeah.
the bill. And once I first got my first full-time VA, I just like, wow, this is a different world. It is a beautiful world. It's a glorious world.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to say no to people because they'd ask me to do certain things. I said, I'm sorry, I can't. Why not? I don't have the bandwidth. I just flat out don't have time. And then
Mhm.
I got VAs and I thought, you know what? I can say yes to this one. Holy what?
Well, I happen to be a little bit of a people pleaser, so years ago, I'd say yes to everything and then
Yeah.
try to figure out how to get it all done or, have too many clients or too many projects, and that's one of those mindset things that, um, you realize that by saying no to more things, your yeses become so much more valuable and powerful.
Wow. That was like good timing on that one because I'm going through something like that right now about something
Mm.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to say no to, and everything in me is saying say no. So I wonder if I should listen to that. I'm
We
thinking
can
maybe, I
talk
don't know.
about that if you want.
It's interesting, and you also say it's. Have you ever noticed this, Suzanne? So someone comes to you with an issue with their business, and within an instant, it's like, yeah, you do this, 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 and
Yep.
then you get yourself back into your own business, and you think, okay, now what do I need to do for my own business?
Mhm.
Uh, and then get
Just
stuck.
just had it happen this week where I was walking my dog today and one of my referral partners called. I was listening to music, so of course, I'm gonna answer the phone, and he said, "I just need 5 minutes." And he asked me a quick question. I need a bridge between my free product and my monthly membership. I gave him 3 ideas in 2 seconds, and he was like, "Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting an answer right now." And I was like, "Cool, whatever. I thought you called for an answer right now." And he said, "What can I do for you?" I said, "Nothing today, but can I ask you in like 30 days? I'll be ready for an ask." And he was like, "Absolutely." But yet Monday this week, I could not see how to automate something in my business. I just couldn't. It was like a blank funnel map for me. Like it just, I couldn't see it. And I made a quick phone call to an automations expert. He spent 20 minutes with me and then sent me a video in response. And the video, I almost cried. Now, who cries at a funnel map video? Me. And my response back to him, I know he's on vacation, he's visiting his parents, and I leave him a voice message that said, "Oh my God, if I was 25 years old, I'd want to marry you because I've never felt so seen and heard and understood in my business as you made me feel. Whatever it takes, how do I work with you? Let me know." And he was like, "Not only did you make me laugh, but it made me so happy that you felt that way just from a Loom video. We're going to have so much fun working together."
Yeah. Oh man, yes, so many. I mean, for some people, stuff like that is so simple.
Mhm.
And I'm in the automation space too, so I could feel where this was all going, where it came from, because
Yeah.
I just assume everybody knows enough to get by on automation. Like, I love it. I eat it. I breathe it. It's everything. I love it so much. And to me, that when someone says, "I don't know how to do this," I'm like, oh my God, there's a need out there for this, and I could
Mhm.
help people. This is pretty cool. So I've
Yeah.
had some of those calls too. And oh man, I love, who is this guy? I want to meet him too, because I use
Well,
Loom
I'll
all the
introduce
time.
you. I'll
Yeah,
introduce you.
that'd be awesome, because I do Loom for everything. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I do Loom for talking to my team without having to talk to them in real time. And it's awesome. It's like, get to it when you get to it. I'll put it up on WhatsApp. Here we go.
Mhm.
Um, and so it's awesome to have the support group. So you have not only your team, but you also have all these people. It sounds like you've developed some really stellar relationships over time. Would you say
Yeah.
that's true?
Yeah, and I think that came from this ability to connect with people, and then the willingness to refer business to others that's out of my zone of genius. And that can feel very scary for a lot of coaches, consultants, because they think, "Oh my gosh, I have, a prospect in front of me who wants to pay for help. I can do that. I can help them create a course, even though that's not my specialty." Right. And I think the willingness to let go of that need to have a lack mindset and say, "Oh my gosh, there's a prospect in front of me. I got to sell them." Or, "Let me get you with the right person. I know a lot about that, and I know enough to know that this person over here I'm going to introduce you to is the expert who is going to really make you shine."
I love that, because instead of just two people interacting, now three are involved and all are
Yeah.
getting benefit from it. So you're sending referral business to the person that has that in their wheelhouse.
Yes.
You are relieving yourself from doing something new that you probably shouldn't be doing anyway, even though you can do it. That's not
Mhm.
your focus. And the person that came to you for the advice is getting their result, whether it's through you or someone else. So it's
Yeah.
a win-win-win. And that's the beautiful thing about referring people, being okay with, it's like, it is a scarcity mindset, isn't it? When you say, I can do it, so I should probably do it. It's like, well, should you? What else should you be working on that's actually more appropriate to your middle line, your focus, where you're
Yeah.
going, and your income? What is that? And so, yeah, my gosh, I've been hit, Suzanne, so many different ways with all these little odd job requests. And I've gotten very used to and in the habit of saying no, because I know I could do it. I could send most of it off to my team. But to
Mhm.
do that, it would take me, I don't know, an hour or so to shoot a loom on explaining how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that the best use of my time? Then I'm gonna have to follow up, and there's gonna be back and forth. I'm like, no. But here's somebody who might be able to help you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that feels, I just did 2 of them today. One of my existing clients has a couple things that she needs tweaked, and it's simple. It's like workbook makeovers.
Mm,
And I said, "My team could handle that for you, honestly, but I know somebody who does, like, rock star workbooks and assessments and reports
hmm,
for major, major assessments. Let me introduce you." And I know his pricing. You'll be more than happy with his
hmm.
pricing. And she was like, "But you don't want the job?" I said, "Well, it's not my job. I'd be giving it to my agency partner. I'm not going to make any money off of it either way, but I want you to have that stellar experience and come out with a product that I would be proud to deliver to you. And she was like, oh my God, where did you come from? I have needed you my whole life, and it's that's what's the gold, is that my inner circle, whether client or just, close connection, they feel taken care of. And I know it's authentic from me, but I know it comes from my healthcare background.
Mm.
I know that's where it comes from.
I love it because, I mean, oh, there's so many. You are like, so were we separated at birth? We couldn't have been because you're far younger than me. But
How do you know that? You say that, and how do you know that?
I'm just doing anything and everything I can to get more brownie points. I have no idea. Um, the thing with helping people like that, you see, I hope people are taking notes. Please, for everybody, take notes. You are listening to the literal secrets to success. Suzanne Taylor King is giving them to you right now. And that is her attention to their needs. Not how do I make a quick buck and how do I make this work out so I can make some money and bring more business in. No, first I'm going to think of what is best for them. Is it me or my team, or is it someone else? And yeah, you could mark it up and actually make some money on it, mark it up a little bit. But you first and foremost said, I think your best experience knowing you, because how did you get to know him? You built a relationship with him. Everyone's starting to see, I hope, how this is all working out. And now you get to help them at a deeper level. And they're looking at Suzanne going, oh my God, she could have taken my money, but instead she gave me to somebody she thought would be better for me. Do you think that person is not a raving freaking fan of hers, which she kind of just said was already? Like, where have you been?
Don't tell everybody my secret to getting people to talk about you in rooms you're not in.
Right.
Like, that's it right there. Is I got on a podcast one time, all because one of those people to me was on a podcast and mentioned me, Daniel Andrews. And he mentioned me on this podcast. And how many people mention someone else on a podcast interview? That doesn't happen. So the host of the podcast was like, who is this person? And do I need to know her? And that spiral, like just spider web of connection, landed me not only a speaking gig, a client, and a guest coaching appearance in a really high level sales mastermind. And just seeing how being that person, and you don't have to be that person for more than 20, 30 people. And the spider web, the ripple effect of that is just tremendous.
And let me ask you this. I think I know the answer to it, but when you first decided, like, let's take that one example where, I could do it. I could have my team do it. I could make a little money off of it, but I think your best experience would be someone else. Was there any part of you saying, what will I get back in return for doing this?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I remember distinctly the very first coaching program that I invested in 15 years ago when I came into the online space. And I wanted to do my business like I had done my healthcare career. I wanted to talk about the practice that I worked in. I wanted to refer people to the practice. And I thought, well, how can that work for me in the online space, in person, whatever? And that coaching program was like, no, you can't be like that. You can't expect people to have relationships with people. And it was very run Facebook ad, do this thing, don't touch the client, don't ever talk to your clients. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And it felt like for the 3 months or 6 months I was in that program, it felt like it was going against every moral fiber of my being. And I thought, is this how online business is? If so, I don't want to do it because it doesn't feel like me. And that became a couple year thing of me trying to figure out how to, and I hadn't heard of the go-giver Bob Berg, and him and I are now connected, and I'm in his community, and I hadn't heard of referral marketing. I was a total noob according to like networking skills, but I knew how to build rapport. I knew how to have relationships with people, and I knew how to maintain relationships with people, which always makes me think of the Seinfeld episode about knowing how to take reservations, but you don't know how to hold the reservation.
I remember that one.
Yeah, one of my favorites. And I truly felt like I was trying to do something that was against my makeup.
Yeah.
And when I think I read the book, The Prosperous Coach, and I was like, oh my God, this is what I've wanted to do all along. And now somebody finally gave me permission to be like that.
Yeah.
And it's been life-changing for my business.
You are a person that comes across to me as someone who just enjoys helping others. And
I do.
the whether or not an actual action of yours comes back as a referral, I think you're okay with it, even if it doesn't, because of the help you gave them. So I don't think you actually do you literally expect them, like expect them to give you something back as a result of you giving it to them? Or are you just saying, I'll give it to you if you want to give me something back? That's cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
Well,
get out
I
of you.
think there's a little bit of woo-woo involved here where, you know, the law of reciprocity is great, right? You give to somebody and they automatically feel like they need to give something back to you. But I don't believe business is built on that alone. I kind of look at it as like an energy thing. So if I have positive energy and I deliver massive value to say 100 people, well, those 100 people, if they like vibe with that, then some of that energy cultivated within those 100 people is going to come back and land on me. But it might not be directly from the person I give to. So if I give to Mary and Mary's more successful or has an insight or whatever, that what comes back to me might be from Bob. And I never even gave to Bob, but somehow it just kind of equals out. And I don't know what that's called, but understanding that it's all just energy. It's all just, and if you have positive energy, people can feel it. And a lot of people ask me, I facilitate a lot of events, a lot of Zoom things, and people are like, how do you get 50 people to come to an event? I don't know. I just ask them and it's fun and I don't know. But that's an energy thing. It's have I ever had an event and nobody showed up? Yes, absolutely. But I think as you start to give more to people,
Mm.
that starts to circulate and come back to you.
Yeah, ripple effect, domino
Mhm.
effect. It
Yeah.
absolutely does. And the thing is to do it with the way you do it, with such authenticity and joy of doing, helping people. And that's the energy part. You're going in it with a very charged joy of, hey, I get to help this person. And
Mhm.
because isn't it so gratifying to know that, you have some experience and some expertise that someone else may not, that you could literally help them with in a snap, and
Yeah.
that they can come out the other end better for it, their business or themselves. And you had something to do with that. I mean, they
Yeah.
call that like, it's almost like an emotional currency that you get back as a
Mhm.
result of
Well,
helping
it's a
people.
it's a dopamine hit 110%.
Yeah.
It's a level of satisfaction that you get from having someone else benefit from, an experience I've had or learning I've had. And I will say one thing, knowing my character strengths, knowing that love of learning is either number 1 or number 2 at all times, I get paid to learn, which that's a dream come true for me. And realizing that, I thought, well, it's selfish of me to keep what I know to myself if someone asks for help. It's I remember a coach saying to me a long time ago, "Oh, don't give if somebody asks you for advice, give them one tiny little thing and then sign them up to work with you." And I was like, "I'm not doing that. If I could solve someone's problem today, I'm going to tell them to here's my phone number, call me, I'll solve that for you right now. I'm not going to sign you up for my 3-month coaching program if I can solve your problem in 2 sessions."
There you
That's
go.
stupid. And I think there's so much of that in the online space. I got to sell my program. Got to sell my program. Well, I have a great program. It's a year long. It's $50,000. But what if you have one little problem? I'm going to charge you to solve that if it takes me 5 minutes? No, I'm going to build a relationship with you, solve that problem for you. And who knows where that's going to lead? I don't care where it leads. That's the magic.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. And that is basically literally going in and helping somebody without true expectations of receiving it directly.
Yes.
And that's when I think the magic happens as well. It's out of the sheer joy of helping somebody and knowing, and inherently, after having been through it now, me too, on the other end, where it starts coming back to you, like, wow, this is pretty nice. What do you say to people? There are those, and maybe you used to be this way as well, when that reciprocity comes back to you. What do you say to those who might actually be a little bit hesitant to accept that actual
Just
wonderful
had a
gift from God?
conversation last week with someone who was nervous about this whole idea. And I said, look, are you nervous about it because you don't think it's going to work? Or are you nervous about it because you need money today? And she I need money this week, next week. I said, you need to go get a job then. And I would say that when you look at the numbers of coaches, I think there's 4% of coaches make over $100,000 a year. 4%. And when you look at that, that's a lot of people in the online space, in the coaching industry, desperate for clients. That's what it says to me.
Yeah.
And if somebody's desperate for a client, they're going to agree to do stuff that's not in their zone of genius. They're not going to refer business out because they're in that lack mindset or desperation mode. I need money to pay my bills. And if you need to get out of that, the best way to solve it is to go get a job at Starbucks or Target or wherever, Chick-fil-A, I don't care. But get some money coming in to get the abundance started flowing in your direction.
Breath of fresh air. My gosh. I watched someone from stages years ago when they were selling a package. The price has been put out there, and the person would literally say, if you have a full-time job and you want to become an entrepreneur, my advice to you is to quit your full-time job right now and just max out your credit cards with me. I mean, this isn't verbatim, but this is really what it was coming down to is quit, buy my program and spend the rest of your time with me so I can then suck more money out of you.
No.
And it's irresponsible. And, to say that, not knowing who in the crowd he's talking to that has a wife, maybe kids, responsibilities, mortgage payments, all this other stuff. It's like, no, it's the other way around. You keep your job till you can get on your feet. Is it going to take you longer? Yes. Is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to take you working long hours, late nights? Yes. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it.
Yes.
But do not be irresponsible, in my opinion, is what I would say. Is don't, look at it really hard. If you're at a point where you can step off and you might take a small hit in money because you're now your business is bringing in money, then maybe, if you're
Yeah.
just changing your lifestyle a little bit, but just to completely stop and say, I quit and walk away. I had a buddy do it. It just hurt me to see
Mhm.
this guy do it.
Yeah.
And to watch him struggle for the next 5 to 6 years, it was, ended up going back to work. Not at
Yeah.
his previous job that was high paying, but at these other menial jobs. I mean, it's
Yeah.
sad. So thank you. The whole point of that was to say
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah,
Suzanne,
I
for
mean,
telling people the right thing.
it's a business to sit when you hire a coach or a consultant or a marketing firm or a Facebook ad, it doesn't matter. Whoever you're hiring in your business, if your business isn't making enough to hire that person, it's a bad business decision, period.
At that time, yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
And I don't believe personally, this is my thing, and I've done it in the past. So I'm saying I've done this. I've borrowed from my personal life
Mhm.
to fund the business.
Yes.
And I remember the first time I did that gamble. I was 24 years old and had no idea what I was doing in business. And I took out second mortgage
Ooh.
on my house so my boyfriend at the time and I could start a business. And my parents were like, "Crazy." And I was like, "Crazy in love, maybe, I don't know." And luckily, just by dumb luck, we were really, really, really successful. And starting that business, in the first year, we had done $1,000,000 in sales.
Mm.
And I was able to pay back that second mortgage very quickly. And so I thought, that's just how you do it, right? Not every time was gonna be that easy, and it definitely was not
Yeah.
true.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's this is why folks should hire you, is you've been through the experience from both sides of the fence. You've seen the top of the top and like, my God, this is easy, down to where, oh crap, this is hard. And
Mhm.
you figured it out. You're still doing it and you're doing it very well. And speaking of all this, let's go take a look at what it is you literally are doing. What is your
Good.
business?
Yeah.
Um, what are the type of people you work with? Like, we kind of know now from your bio, is very clear with your great avatar right in the bio. People
Mm.
take note of that kind of stuff. Put that in your bio. People will know if you are maybe a fit. Doesn't mean you have to be 40 or older. She will take on other clients. It's just that is her focus. That's where her messaging goes. It's just genius. And so let's take a look, Suzanne. If you don't mind, I'll let you kind of take the podium,
Yeah.
so to speak, and
Yeah.
just let us know what it is you do, who you serve, and if you have a success story or two more, then we'd love to hear that as well. So I'll pull up your site and let you take it away.
Yeah. Well, my site just got a makeover too. So this is some new colors, and the blue buttons are going to go to a really exciting little video series. It's one main video and then some smaller ones that'll come via email. That's not quite ready yet, but it will be. So this makeover just finished on my website last week. So this is really exciting to have the debut here on your show.
Woohoo.
So, I'm a coach for business owners who really are looking for more out of their life. Um, Most entrepreneurs I've met, their business becomes their life. And I'm here to turn that around a little
Ooh.
bit because most high achieving business owners face those blocks or challenges, or they're making so much money, they're scared to change anything. They're scared to do something different. They're scared to pivot. They're scared to reinvent themselves. And I wanted to really make the commitment to my clients to be no BS, no filter, totally custom, because I believe that coaching is co created in conversation with my client. So
Mhm.
it's not about my program, my modules. It's about where my client wants to go. And that's why I got rid of all my programs and modules, and I do business coaching or I do life coaching, and I consult with other community founders. I also do some facilitation of incredible events for other communities looking to build that engagement and connection within their communities, that spider web of connection. I help other communities get interconnected like that. And I think one of the beautiful things about truly believing in the power of coaching is that I think coaching is a combination for me of coaching, consulting, and mentorship all in one fluid session. And I've actually started to mentor a couple coaches in that exact idea of being able to be confident enough to be someone's coach, to offer consulting, but also, be your mentor and be your guide, because I've been there, done that. And, let me show you the way. Instead of it taking, 15 years to be a successful coach, I can do it for you in a year to 18 months. And
Hmm.
let's go on the journey together. So I've partnered with a couple of my clients to do that. And that's really fun for me.
Very cool. Look at this. It just keeps going and going. I love this. This website is very clean.
Thank you.
It's pretty obvious what it's about. The messaging is clear. It's simple, which is all good. I mean that
Yeah.
all to say it's, this is something people can digest, and I love it. And look at that young lady right there on the front. See, I told you. So, it's okay for everyone listening on podcasts. Her website is SuzanneTaylorKing.com, and that's SuzAnne Taylor, which is Taylor, and then King, King.com. SuzanneTaylorKing.com. Oh, and stay with us live till the end again, because not only am I giving away a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort to one lucky winner, also, their little birdie told me that this young lady also might have a little something for you, another gift coming your way. Oh, I love gifts. Who here does not like gifts? I
I
don't
love
think
gifts.
anyone. Yes, there we go. All right, fantastic. Ooh.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by Reach.
You see, I had some gremlins there going on. I knew it. That's okay. We keep moving and keep going strong. We're talking about bookmarks. No, we're not. That was what that just came up. That was fun. Suzanne Taylor King is on the Mind Body Business Show. Be sure to watch it live. Go to the mindbodybusinessshow.com. It's a real short URL, easy to remember. The mindbodybusinessshow.com. Click on any of those buttons that say when and where to watch. Opt in, and you get a hotel discount card just for opting in. You get $100 off. I've used them myself. They work. And all we do is announce when the next live show goes up. It'll give you a link. You can go right to it. You can be here with us, commenting, interacting, entering to win, all that good stuff. And you can opt out anytime you want. And we don't use that list to sell anything. We just say, show's coming up, and here's who it is. And this is a little bit about them. And it's a fantastic way for you to grow your business for the big whopping price of, you get it a big fat zero. In fact, you make $100 on the deal. I mean, come on. What can be better than that? Suzanne Taylor King is extremely experienced. You can see this. She's heart-centered. She's service-oriented. Is anybody and everybody starting to pick up on the key ingredients of success? I sure hope you are. It's not magic. It's very simple, yet it's not easy. Is that the right way to say it? Is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, because I I I would like to think I make it look easy, but it's definitely not. It's been a journey of lessons. Not everybody likes me. I'm a people pleaser. It's devastating when somebody doesn't like me. Um, I try to always be myself, but at the same time, there's this persona of Suzanne that's in the online space, when I'm facilitating an event or I'm speaking on stage. It's just a bigger version of me, a more energized
Mm,
version of me. And that's important when and it's not an alter ego, but it's a it's an image of being happy, being content, being confident, being outgoing, being vibrant. I call it vibrant soul force. Like it's really necessary if you want to be in the online space, stand out, category of one, do all of those things. But I'm not happy all of the time. I get, "Ooh, am I good enough to do this? Am I, worthy enough to charge that much?" Or, "Wow, can I really be on stage with that person?" I have a speaking event coming up in May, and I'm like, "Nah, okay, step up your game," right? And I love to be challenged and do something that feels a little uncomfortable,
mm.
'cause that means I'm moving towards that growth zone, and I think people who like that are attracted to me because I'm doing it right in front of them, and they're like, "Oh, if she could do it, I wanna learn how to do it." And for me, it's learning and always being willing to get a little uncomfortable, and that's how I know I'm on the right track. If it's too easy, it's probably not the direction I should go.
I think that is a universally applicable philosophy. That was too many big words in a row for me. And
Yeah, that was
so,
a lot. It was like eudaimonologist there.
that's right. But the thing about being uncomfortable, I think, is universal. That if
Yeah.
everybody is not taking themselves out of their comfort zone on a regular basis, like you just said, the word growing, you're not growing. It's
Mhm.
like a sailboat that's in the water with no wind. It's not going anywhere. And if it's not going anywhere, you can't change direction because it has to be moving to change direction. So if you're going the wrong direction, but you're going nowhere, you can't change anything. You have to be moving. That means get
Yeah.
out of your comfort zone, get on stage. That means get on a Zoom call, make that sales call. That means accept that wonderful gift in return for what you gave to somebody else. That could be uncomfortable. Whatever it
Mhm.
is, every time you do that, you grow and you expand and you stretch, and it's all good. Growth is never, it's usually not without pain of some kind, emotional or
Yeah.
physical. I mean, to
Yeah.
grow as a bodybuilder, you have to work out, and that's a lot of pain to stretch your muscles. Not much different here. But it's cool because what
Mhm.
Suzanne has done is surrounded herself with a great support group of people she has gotten to know. And I'm sure she has, I think you mentioned you have a coach as well, uh,
Mhm.
and a
I
mentor.
have a coach and a mentor, um, and a great inner circle of people who I can dial the phone and say, "Hey, I just thought of this." Um, Actually, I thought of a name for something today, for something of mine, and I immediately called my business bestie, and I said, "Do you remember me saying this name to you like 5 years ago?" And she goes, "What the hell made you think of that?" I'm like, "I don't know, but what do you think of that for my new thing?" And she was like, "Let me chew on that for a little bit." She called back like 20 minutes later. She's like, "I think it's great if you say it's with you." So, if you if you say that it's with you and incorporate your name into the product, then absolutely. I'm like, "Ooh, great suggestion." Now I wouldn't have gotten that had I not shared that with her. So, I think 2 brains together actually make 3. So, you come up like a thinking partner, you know? So those people have really been instrumental for me being more creative, being more insightful, being able to talk about things out loud. Sometimes I hear something that I said, I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, that was good. What she said. That was great." But without people to talk to, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's so invaluable to have a sounding board and to
Yeah.
bounce things off of, and to do the same for them and help them out. And it's I always say, like, the best ideas I ever came up with weren't my own because they're always coming from other people that
Mhm.
have, they're looking at your business and you with a different lens. And that's when the power happens. It's when you
Yeah.
get out of yourself. Well, you don't have to get out of yourself. You let somebody else tell you or advise you or give you direction. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean you accept everything they say point blank, but you do at least get more ideas. And like, like you just said, I never thought of that. I'll add myself to it.
Mhm.
And it means, and this is from people like, and trust. These are people that have your back. You want to be very careful that you have the right circle of friends when you're throwing these things out, that you
Yeah.
don't get sent down the wrong path. But you wouldn't have asked them if they hadn't been to begin with. And it's so important to have relationships. Gosh, we're too late into the show. There's one question. I think I know the answer to it, but we have two gifts to give away here. One is a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort, and there's something of yours that I'm being a little coy about, not putting up there yet. And that is, I love to end every show, Suzanne, with one very special question. And
Mm.
this came about, I've been doing this show for a little over 5 years now. And on occasion, I asked this question back in the early days, and it started hitting me like, whoa, that was one heck of an answer. And that started happening over and over. And I thought, that's a great way to finish this thing off, because it will just, it has finished it off with a bang every time. And the cool thing about this question is it's very profound and very unique to each individual. Before we get into that and close up tonight's show, we got two wonderful, amazing gifts. Ladies first, how about we go with yours? I'll put up the web address on the screen, and then I'll
Yeah.
pull up the website behind the scenes so people can get a glimpse at what this is. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead. Take it away.
Well, that is my resource page, and I update it at least once a quarter. So right now, there are some great downloadable resources on there for business owners. I believe there's 4 different resources. No opt-in required. Just click the button and download the resource to your computer. And what I like best about giving new and different resources, I have a Facebook group, and I put those in there just as, value adds. So the first one, the IP extractor, will help someone sit down and extract their intellectual property, that unique combination of knowledge and skills. I call it your talent stack, and get it on paper. And then, of course, a course creation planner, a 90-day marketing planner, and a goal setting worksheet. And that goal setting worksheet, you could print that out once a week and really set your goals for the week.
And the cost for all this wonderful stuff is?
A big old whopping zero.
Oh my goodness, say it isn't so. So it's
Yeah.
SuzanneTaylorKing.com / and then all lowercase resources. SuzanneTaylorKing.com / resources. And you heard it. Absolutely a big whopping big fat $0 for you.
Yeah.
Go get them until they're gone, before she takes them down or changes them to something that you probably saw something on there like, I need that one right now. Like goal setting worksheet. Oh my goodness. Yes. Course creation planner. What a great idea to give away, because how many people know that having a course is actually a good thing, especially if you have something that you're really good at. You can put up a course. 90-day marketing planner. That'd be perfect for any business. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So phenomenal resources. And I can tell without even opening a single one of them that these are phenomenal because of who we're talking to. Suzanne Taylor King, ladies and gentlemen. She is absolutely amazing. I think you will all agree. And just so youthful. You can't imagine. It's
Stop.
unbelievable. I had to get that in there. All the brownie points, they stack up. At least I heard. So one more gift to give away. Everyone watching us live, great. Wow, Suzanne, not only has everybody hung on, we've added a couple to the live
Nice.
stream. So
Nice.
glad to have you all here. And you saw the screen earlier as my buttons got a little mixed up and my fingers got a little too fat to press the right one. Now I'm going to bring it up. And what it is it's going to be a URL that you will all go to enter to win. So instead of going to that website right now, you will instead want to write it down. Yes, remember that part. And then after the show is over, don't even go there until we actually say goodnight and so long. We will be monitoring for the entries, and don't worry, we will pick a winner. So write it down, and then you'll want to listen very intently to Suzanne answering that final, incredible, amazing zinger of a question. So here it is.
Okay.
I'll put it up on the screen for you watching live. you will want to go to, you write this down right now, go to ryp.im/vacation. That's all lowercase, ryp.im/vacation. Write that down and then get ready to go to it after we sign off, because we have the most amazing individual on the planet here about to answer the most amazing question coming up. So there's two wonderful things about this question, Suzanne.
Okay.
One is there's no such thing as a wrong answer. It's not a quiz. It's not a test.
Excellent.
It's beautiful. In fact, this is the other side of it. The only correct answer will be yours, because it's going to be unique to you. That even includes if it takes you a microsecond to come up with an answer, or if it takes you 20 seconds. That too is absolutely perfect because it's yours.
Okay.
And then please know that for some of the guests that have answered this question, they will be included later in a collaborative book by the title of the question, if that makes sense.
Fun.
So that was kind of a hint, hint, wink, wink that a 1 or 2 word sentence may not make it into the book. But no pressure, whatever your answer is, even if it's a 1 sentence, that's fine. It's perfect for you. So with all that wonderful buildup, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Here we go. Suzanne Taylor King, how do you define success?
Oh boy. Okay. It's definitely not my bank account. Success to me is having a life that I can be proud of. On my deathbed, that I don't have any regrets, that I show up as a good wife, friend, mom, connection, that I lead my life with integrity and honesty. And most importantly, I'm always honest with myself, because for me, that was where the homework and personal growth was, to be able to look into the mirror, no matter how old or what size I was or what was happening in my life, that I could actually look into my own eyes and say, I love you and I respect you, and you did what you said you were going to do today.
And as usual, just like everyone that came before you, no two people have yet answered that the same way. Is that amazing or what?
Yeah.
One thing that is common that I find very refreshing is every one of you, not a single one of you, had money at the focus you opened by saying it wasn't. You just flat out negated it. That's what I love about what I get to do, is because of people like you, Suzanne, is that we're coming in here with servant attitude, servant hearts, and we're about more than the money, even though money is definitely a requirement. We need it. And we have to give some of our focus to it. But everyone I talk to, success, that is not their focus. Their focus is on serving, on achieving, on leaving a legacy, on different various things. And with that, money will come because of the heart that's put into it. So appreciate you, Suzanne. Appreciate your heart. What is one of the best ways for folks to get in touch with you other than your website? Are there other ways, or what's your favorite way for people to reach out to you?
Actually, favorite way is send me a message, whether it's, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, send me a connection request, send me a message. If I'm tapped out of connections, join my Facebook community. Ask me how you can come to my networking event or my event that I host once a month for coaches. They're both free, and it's an amazing opportunity to be in the room with me, with other great people, and just reach out and ask me. And I think that's really no funnel, no email sign up required. Just come into the world and see if you like it, and love to have you.
Fantastic. Is that Facebook address correct on the screen for you?
That is my business page. Yes.
Is that one way they can reach out to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. That one's facebook.com/Suzanne Taylor King Coach altogether. Suzanne Taylor King Coach. I imagine they can just do a search for you and see your lovely face in the profile and just message you that way as well.
Yep. And I will, I'll put a little link in the chat for you, Brian, of my Facebook group.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You can share that. Feel free. And that, again, that's a community of about 850 people that 90% of them I've met and had conversations with. And that's kind of my pool of people who come to my events and workshops and
Let me
network.
get that up there real quick before we call it an evening. I'm not going to pretty it up. I'm just going to get it in there so
Yeah,
people
that's
can
fine.
get to it right now. So that's facebook.com/groups idea lab 4, the number 4 entrepreneurs. So it's facebook.com/groups/idea lab number 4 entrepreneurs. So the digit 4, when I say number 4, Idea Lab 4 entrepreneurs is the end of that, all lowercase at the end. And that way you can get hooked up. Thank you for that. I just put it in
Yeah.
the comments so that everyone watching on all the venues that we are on could see that as well, and just click on it and go. I love it. Thank
Awesome.
you so very much, Suzanne Taylor King. It's been a blast. We went over a little bit. I appreciate you for allowing me to hold you a little past our bedtime. Well, my bedtime. I don't know about yours. You're so young. But it's been a wonderful blast. Yes, got it in again. And I appreciate you. And anything I can do to help you going forward, please don't hesitate to reach out. Automation, videos, shows, whatever happens to be. I look forward to prolonging this relationship that's
Yes,
been
me
newly
too.
established, because you're one of my kind. I just thoroughly enjoy hanging out with you, talking
Well,
with
maybe
you.
I could just call and you can tell me how young I am on days I'm
More
feeling
than happy to
old
do that.
and nerd.
Yeah, at least once a day if you want. Let's say you are young. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, on behalf of the amazing Suzanne Taylor King, I am your host, Brian Kelly of the Mind Body Business Show. Don't forget to enter to win at ryp.im/vacation after we sign off in just a moment. Until next time, I cannot wait to see you all. Please do 2 things until we meet next time. Number 1, go out there, everybody, please, and crush it in your business. Serve more people, help more people. Number 2, above all else, above everything else, please, to a person, be blessed. That is it for us tonight. We'll see you again next time. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.